We have reached the final third of the 2022 XCAL $5 Tuesday Series season, and we come to one of its tracks on the 2022 schedule that everyone has circled on their list, and legit a circle. The Oxford Plains Speedway up in Maine, where the drivers will duke it out for 400 grueling laps. As we welcome you to How to Suck at iRacing's live coverage of the XCAL Racing Web Shop 400. We're so glad you could join us alongside Doug Burns, who is working the buttons inside the booth in Florida. I'm Marty Sakala. Doug, first off, we hope you're feeling better, man. Going through some tough times at the moment, but he's still here working with us tonight. This is going to be a race tonight that is full of patience, and when these drivers are going all green flag mode, there will pretty much be no point when they keep the wheels straight.
That is definitely the case. One of the issues we've seen is there is that bump, especially in 3 and 4. The curbing there makes things very, very interesting. And then there's those big dirt berms that when accidents happen, cars tend to hit them and catch a little bit of air. So the patience you mentioned is going to be key here tonight. A lot of spots will be picked up on pit road, and this is the most oddball pit road, which does play a little bit into the strategy here tonight.
And something else drivers have to be careful of is that apron. It's not a flat apron. First off, you go over a sausage that goes pretty much throughout the entire speedway, and if you hit that at any time, your car could get loose, but if you hit it dead center, good chance your car could go poof.
We did see that last time. We saw a couple of guys just hit that curbing, and it was enough to end their night. And the tricky thing about this track, we saw guys making setups to pass. The fastest way around this track is the inside, but we have seen drivers set the car up and find a way to make it past on the high side. It's tricky, but the guys who can make a move on the high side, those are the guys that quickly and efficiently move to the front.
And if you're a guy like me as well, it is also a track that we can go poof at, not just poof, but like abracadabra, if you know what I mean. So, anyway, let's get to a couple of drivers we're going to talk with pre-race. First off, we're going to talk with the guy that had the biggest gain in points last week, and that is Ryan Seams. Ryan Seams in the 131. Comes on into the standings 18th in points. Ryan, just talk about how much fun you've been having these past few weeks, coming off of a good finish.
It's been pretty fun, not going to lie. I've been enjoying myself racing with my teammates and everybody else on XCAL.
Absolutely, man. So you're starting from 26th tonight. What's it going to take to make a charge to the front? You've got 400 laps. Could be one of the longest races we have this season, and it's now we've turned up the length in races.
It's going to take a lot of patience, a lot of give and take, especially with the lap cars. That's just going to be behind somebody, and someone's going to be behind you the whole race. It's just going to be patience.
Ryan Seams looking for his third straight top 10 finish. Good luck tonight.
And thank you, Marty.
That's Ryan Seams starting off of a provisional. Second guy we will be talking with here throughout our pre-race show, as I confirm here, is going to be a new guy making his XCAL Racing debut tonight. I've seen this guy on Facebook groups in the past. He's a good dude. That is Ryan Kuhn. First off, it is your XCAL debut tonight, man. Luckily, you start from second position, but do you know what you're in for tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. You know, never ran one of these races before, especially long street stock races like these. It's going to be different. It's going to be all about patience, survival, obviously some fuel saving, and maybe some tire strategy in there as well. But yeah, it's going to be pretty fun, and hopefully we'll have a good night.
One of the fastest cars out there on track we're noticing in warm-ups at the moment, with your best lap being, as we pull your stats up onto the speedway, a 16.076. How do you think the tire fall off is going to be here tonight? How many seconds are you estimating before you have to come in and pit?
Yeah, I think we're probably going to fall off about just over half a second throughout a run per lap, but probably run it till it's dry, to be honest with you. But you know, I think tire saving is going to be a little bit. Like I said, tire strategy is going to be huge. I think it's going to be all about taking care taking care of those right side tires. If you're a little on the snug side, it's gonna be save that right front. If you're on the free side, save that right rear. But I don't think anyone's gonna really find a happy medium, especially at Oxford, such a flat, slick racetrack.
All right, man. We wish you the best of luck and welcome to XCAL.
Thank you, guys.
Ryan Kuhn starting on the outside of the front row tonight. Pole sitter, by the way, for those wondering, is Austin Edwards once again. Our third driver that will be joining us here, well, we were supposed to get Tyler McRae, but McRae decided, hey, you know what? I'm not going to come into the green room. I'm not going to show up. So guess what? PDJ Zeller gets to do some more smack talk at Tyler McRae. We got beef, baby. PD, call out T-Cray.
Call out T-Cray. He took care of himself today, man. He can't even show up when he's supposed to have an interview about his beef with me. Tyler McRae, he's the kind of guy to go to the grocery store and he asks his girlfriend to push the cart, you know. Tyler McRae, he's the kind of guy, when he can't get a jar open, you know, he asks his old lady to do it, you know. Tyler McRae is the kind of guy to take a walk down the road and put on a hoodie when it's only mildly brisk outside, you know. This guy, full-on beta male, can't even show up to come in here and talk a little smack about me. He don't want the beef. He talks about dropping bombs, but he can't even drop in for an interview. Absolute puss noggin.
Well, damn. Mic drop. Mic drop from PD. Well, one more question. You start from 7th tonight. Good spot. Just talk about what's it going to take to stay inside this top 10 tonight.
Won't take much with bum asses like Tyler McRae in the field tonight, I'll tell you that much, Marty.
Oh boy. PD got to be careful. We may have to make this our second straight rated R broadcast, but good luck tonight, man.
Have a good one, boys.
Nothing to say except a round of applause there, Doug.
Definitely so. I was laughing the whole time.
I couldn't believe what I heard from PD there in that interview. Anyway, final guy we'll talk with before we get to the green flag is Joe Campbell. Now, if you have seen radioactives I've done on my channel on occasion, I could only do 2 based on my time on my YouTube page at Marty Sakala. This guy would pretty much be the radio sweetheart on the Whale PD. That is Joe Campbell. Well, it's been a while since you've gone to be able to hear him in public. Joe, this is a live television broadcast, but you get to yell at whoever the heck you want.
Hey, what's happening tonight, Marty? I'd just like to start out by saying happy birthday to Terry Pierce. A good friend of mine, watches quite a few races, and today's his birthday. So, I'll just start off on a good note there. But to the other hand, we got this guy, we call him Tubby. He races for EHP. His name's Alex Gratz. I'm so sick of that kid. Like, he has no head on his shoulders. He runs people off the track. I've just had it with him. He just needs to stay clear of me and my drivers. None of us like him. He wrecks us. I'm sure you guys have seen it on the broadcast along with all the fans watching.
As we take a look, by the way, at the starting positions here, just to confirm, Joe, you start in 27th spot. Alex starts behind you, luckily. Alex starts in 3rd. What's going to take to try and beat him?
Patience. Bide my time. It's 400 laps, man. He's gonna mess up. He always does. He'll either wreck himself going on pit road, or he'll take someone out and get DQ'd. So I just got to keep my car going. Keep it moving forward. Keep the tires on it. Could lose a little bit of fender here and there. It won't hurt me here, but just got to keep it going. As long as I can keep it going, I think I got a top 20 at least. Looking for a top 10. It's one of those tracks, though. You never know.
Danny's rooting for you. I can see her in chat. Good luck tonight, Joe.
Thank you, Marty.
That's Joe Campbell starting through a provisional tonight. Let's give you your race breakdown here as we're moments away from gridding up the field. 400 laps, 150 miles. Window between 80 to 90 laps here at Oxford. So we are looking at just around 5 pit stops tonight. Maybe 4. We'll have to see what happens. 35 drivers are ready to take the green flag. Let's meet the field in the starting lineup. Austin Edwards starts on pole position. He's coming off of last week's win, ending the streak of Zach Edwards. But it's been 5 straight that we have seen the Edwardses in victory lane. Ryan Kuhn making his debut on the outside. Row 2, it's Alex Gratz in the 17. Jeremy Gilliatt making his second start after a great run last week. He starts in 4th. Row number 3, the absence of Tyler McRae in the green room. And next to him is Adam Gilliatt. So we've got 2 Gilliatts in the field. I think it was Adam, by the way, Doug, that made his first start last week. Correct me if I'm wrong there in the chat, by the way. Row 4, PDJ Zeller and the return of Rocky Boyd in the 717. Row number 5, Alex Krapser and Chris Johnson. Row 6 is Devin Landry and Kendrick Cryer. Row number 7, Robbie Keneally in his return and Nicholas Seams. Row 8, Billy Snodgrass making his debut in Johnny B's team against Zach Edwards coming off a second place finish. Row 9 is John Schwartz in the 99 this time and Luke Turpin in the 454. And in row number 10 is Jeremy Lutto in the 01, John Andrews in the 420. Rounding out the field, Joseph Hurd, Robert Colgan, Greg Holes, Matt Pelletier, Mason Foster, Ryan Seams, Joe Campbell, Sean Patrick, Albert Hewins, James Johnson, Jose Gaudino, Jeff Edgar, Stephen Wetton, Derek Olson, Gerald Poole round out the field. 10 drivers did not make the field tonight. Those drivers include, among notables, 37 of R100, 84, Connor Rockwood, 56, Brett Eblay, 66, Brent Meckes, 23, Steele Langford, and the 9 of Kevin Church. Well, we're so glad he could join us on How to Suck at iRacing. You've got the veteran in Austin Edwards against the debut guy at Ryan Kuhn. We're not going straight here tonight. It is showtime in the circuits of Oxford.
Austin quickly to the lead. Kuhn just dropping into second place. Smart move by the newcomer to turn a few hundred laps and learn a lot. And you couldn't learn from anybody better than following Austin around. Meanwhile, the majority of the pack still side by side throughout the field. It's going to be like that for quite a while. And once they get single file, this pack will stretch all the way around the track, Marty.
You got Tyler McRae trying to clear on Jeremy Gilliatt for 4th position. He does as they are bumper to bumper. It looks like a traffic jam on the I-90. We got one sideways off of turn 4. That was Snodgrass in the 062 and makes a nice save. Nicholas Seams gets past, but it leads into 2 packs at the moment on lap number 3. Austin Edwards quickest on track, 16:31. Nobody is in the 16:45s yet in this race tonight. Tyler McRae trying to get up to Alex Gratz and make a run to the inside. Takes a peek underneath. Got into the quarter panel and got a little bit squirrely. Dirt tracks entering turn number 3. Muscles his way. Leads over Gratz at the line for 3rd.
Gratz going backwards. You do not want to get stuck in that outside line, especially right now when everybody is so close. Gratz manages to slip back in about 5th place, but man, it's going to be a battle. If you get stuck on that outside line, you're in trouble. And Austin Edwards out front, he has a decent lead, just over 1.3 seconds, but it is roughly 16.5-second laps here. And Gerald Poole in last is 9.4 seconds behind him, or about 7 seconds ahead. Lap traffic will be an issue all night.
Oh, an accordion effect, and we got one sideways. Goes Alex Krapser, and it stacks up the field. Caution is out. You've got the 717 of Rocky Boyd, the 60 of Chris Johnson, and a whole lot more. Let's take a look at the Flaming Karma Paint Shop replay to see what happened with Alex.
Not the way Alex wanted this one to start. Going off into turn 1, the 20 has the car. Looks like he might have gotten a little bit of a bump coming off corner exit. And then the 717 goes around itself trying to check up, and everybody right immediately behind gets caught in that. Rocky Boyd in it, Krapser, Chris Johnson is in it as well.
Just a stack up off of Adam Gilliatt in the 95, and because he spun off the bumper of the 717, this strike will likely go towards Rocky Boyd. Seeing who else is in it besides Boyd.
Looking at the replay again, the 717 just gets right into Krapser. Fortunately, they're at a point on the track where there's not a ton of speed, not a lot of damage. Everybody manages to keep it off the wall.
Kendrick Cryer also involved in that. A couple of guys missing it just barely, like the 88 of Joseph Hurd, for example. Ruling from race control is no call on that, and because it was called, in the words of Aaron Hillebush, a conga line. So just a big stack up, nobody's business, but once again, this is a race all about patience tonight, and most of the drivers, like probably 75% of the drivers that we talked with in pre-race, they were all saying it's all about patience here tonight, and some drivers just want to get up to the front as soon as possible.
Zach Bache made an excellent comment in the comment section. Tempers are going to flare tonight, and you talk about patience is needed, but you've got to keep control of that temper, and it is so easy to start getting angry 5-10 laps in when something like this one happens.
Hello, by the way, to Brad Eblay, who sent 50 stars and 2 weeks worth of fire. I don't know what that means. I'm not a premier Facebook streamer. Doug will get it though. So, going green this time off of turn number 2. Let's reset the field. Austin Edwards, Tyler McRae, row 1. It is Jeremy Gilliatt and PDJ Zeller, row 2. Adam Gilliatt, Devin Landry, row 3. Zach Edwards, John Schwartz, Luke Turpin, Greg Holtz round out the top 10. Austin Edwards is the control car. We're back to green at Oxford.
It doesn't take long here. The laps are very quick. Caution laps are mostly very short. We even had that big stack up and a bunch of cars involved. Still managed to get back rolling very quickly. So there will be a lot of green flag racing here tonight. But man, once the tempers start to heat up, we will see some cautions out there. Jonathan Schwartz in the 99 on the outside, fading a little bit. I'm surprised to not see more drivers set up for that outside line making moves.
How about the Gilliatts up to second and third? You got Jeremy in second. It's Adam that's making his debut up into third. They're having some fun right now out front in Oxford, which is a very tough track to race on in XCAL Racing. This was when I first... Oh, we got one off the track. That's Sean Andrews who goes bye-bye.
Let's take a look at the replay real quick. Sean, I think, may have had a little bit of help there. Oh, yeah, Schwartz just gets into the quarter panel, and he goes off the track in turn 3 through the grass, but manages to get it turned around and come back up. But he's going to lose a ton of spots.
Good battle on track as Tyler McRae's trying to rebound after a tough start on the outside. He loses 2 spots to Luke Turpin and Devin Landry. They're in 6th and 7th, respectively. Now Mason Foster looks to get past on the inside. He's up into 8th. This is a track where only one groove is completely key. That's a lot like Bristol before its reconfiguration in 2007.
Yeah, it is definitely a one groove track. We'll see guys dive to the inside on the straight on the. I say straightaway. There's really not a straightaway, but on what would be the front and back straightaway, you'll see guys really dive to the inside to get that nose in before the next turn. That's how 90% of the moves and passes will be made here tonight. So things are going to get a little bit interesting, but thankfully for the moment, everybody taking it fairly easy on each other and playing it a little bit safe here.
Let's talk about Austin Edwards while we are at it. That was one of the best starts I have seen from him. Well, everyone was so slow on the track. He was pulling away like 0.2 a second on average. It looks like he's got NASCAR 22 ignition on easy mode at the moment.
Austin has set the record now for most single season poles. Last season it was most single season wins. You got to wonder how many more XCAL records are going to end up with an Austin Edwards on it.
That is true, absolutely. As you see, they're working on lap traffic. That's Gerald Poole in the number 16. Let's go to a battle on track for 11th spot. Joe Campbell versus John Schwartz. And Joe Campbell, one of the biggest movers from the drop of the green flag. He is up 16 spots. Albert Hewins in that green 55 also up 16. 2 guys up 17. Mason Foster up 17, as well as Ryan Seams. They're 8th and 9th respectively. All those drivers off to a good start. All of them, too, from J&S Racing, were able to miss the big wreck at the drop of the green flag.
Well, not to mention J&S has been strong all season long and been up there winning a lot this season. They're definitely the team to watch coming into the final third of this season.
Ewan's currently up in no man's land as he loses 2 spots to Robbie Keneally and Matt Pelletier. That puts him in. We got trouble. Derek Colson has spun it. That's in turn number 4. He's off the racing groove. now gets back in it, and that's right in front of Austin Edwards. Be careful, Jeremy and Adam Gilliatt. They get to the bottom of the track. A stack up with the leaders. No caution, though. We stay green. Let's see if Doug has anything on Derek Colson.
Just watching that replay, looks like there was a little bit of bumping and banging going on there. And getting back up to speed was almost another situation, but looked like just a little door banging coming off turn 4 or out of turn 3 into turn 4. And man, he was just around. Not a lot that could happen. Great evasive driving by everybody.
That was contact with the 01 of Jeremy Leto. Leto in a different ride for tonight. That's normally Schwartz's ride. Trying to find some other good battles on the racetrack, and as you see, a lot of conga lines at the moment. Everyone's staying single file on the basement portion of the racetrack. There is a good battle for 19th on the speedway. Ryan Kuhn not off to a good start. He lost 17 at the drop of the green flag. If I recall correctly, I think he was involved in that first caution, as he currently battles with Nicholas Seams for 18th.
He was involved in that first caution, and way back in the field, but looking to make his way back up. Already looking underneath Nicholas Seams here. I did see Nicholas Seams has a couple of fans, Jason Seams, in the chat cheering him on tonight. So good luck to Nicholas as well.
And our eyes as well throughout the field, as Austin Edwards has an 0.8 of a second lead on Jeremy and Adam Gilliatt. PDJ Zeller up 3 positions for the drop of the green flag. A good start at the moment in 4th position. Out racing Tyler McRae, who was in 10th position. I got a good feeling when Team Money had that bad restart, and when PD got by, I think there was a number 1 signal out the window.
I am quite sure that there was, but look who's behind PD and marching his way up 11 spots so far in this race. Zach Edwards. Also bringing Luke Turpin with him, and then you've got Foster and Seams in 8th and 9th. Man, there's some cars really making their way forward here. Joe Campbell in 11th as well. Pelletier's up 10 spots.
And speaking of Zach Edwards, we got to give him a huge shout-out, though. Although he did not win last week, this man had an unheard streak in XCAL Racing of 4 straight victories. Michigan, South Boston, North Wilkesboro, Southern National Motorsports Park, lost out and finished 2nd on a last lap pass to Austin Edwards. But it's still 5 in a row for the Edwards guys at the moment.
Yeah, I'm still working on getting my name legally changed to Edwards, so I'll be faster. It seems to work.
Actually, 6 in a row, I think. Yeah, 6 points races in a row that the last name of Edwards has been won by. Austin won at Thompson, and then 4 straight from Zach. Austin won at Iowa. So, something kind of impressive.
2022's records will just be a list of Edwardses.
Last time I recall a streak like that featuring guys with the same last name, I think you got to go back to 2009 in the beginning of the NASCAR Cup Series season when Kurt and Kyle Busch were winning like at least 2 races. It was back and forth. It was fun to watch. So you mentioned Luke Turpin as well, currently up 13 positions. It's not been the first 2/3 of the season that he has wanted. He wants to end this final third correctly. Coming on into the standings, he enters tonight 5th in points with 2,650. And if we take a look at Luke Turpin's stats at the moment, he has not finished inside the top 5 since Lanier on May 3rd. That's very surprising to see out of Superman.
And that is extremely odd. I know he's had some tough races here lately, but I did not realize. Hopefully he'll be able to start making that comeback here tonight with the top 5 run going on right now.
Trying to get past Zach Edwards for 4th position. PDJ Zeller putting on pressure as well. Something you got to keep in mind there in this lead pack at the moment. There is a driver, I believe, in lap... Nope, never mind. Hold that thought, actually. Thought from we had a guy in lap... That was a lap car working with the lead pack. Obviously, per XCAL rules, if you are 1 lap down, you are allowed to race the leaders. Looking at some other drivers on track at the moment. We talked with Ryan Seams pre-race. Once again in 9th place. In fact, his last 2 top 10s have both been 9th place finishes, Doug.
Yeah, that's some great runs this season, starting to really turn things around for that team and that driver. Hopefully that will continue on, and hopefully he betters his position as the weeks go on. Still a very consistent run, and considering how his season started, that's he's got to be very happy with the performance as of late.
Had a pass a couple of moments ago. I believe it was in lap traffic. It was Gerald Poole getting past Derek Colson for 31st. And if I recall correctly, that is a battle between 2 drivers that are eligible for the free pass. Currently, if we get a caution flag right now, your waiver rounds would go to Gerald Poole, Derek Colson, and Kendrick Craig. Again, 3 waiver rounds in XCAL Racing under every caution, unless we are under 10 laps to go.
Hey, you know, I just noticed the Gilliatt boys still holding 2nd and 3rd, and you know, we saw that Edwards team move a couple of weeks ago at Michigan. Could we see something like that out of the Gilliatt family here tonight, using each other and trying to hold the field back, giving each other the best opportunity to win if they can get past Austin?
And perhaps we could. Good battle on hand. It is a battle for 11th. Robbie Keneally past Tyler McRae. How about Ryan Kuhn? He's rebounded from the first caution. Back up into 12th position. Matt Pelletier also starting to close in. McRae is starting to fade back and back and back. Not what he wants at all.
Surprised to see so few cars set up to run fast up top. It's definitely something difficult, but we've seen it in races past here where guys have managed to get their car set up. It'll run on the outside. They have to set the gear right, but if everything is right, they can run and pass up top.
Hang on, Robbie Keneally. He gassed it a little bit too much on the exit of turn number 4. Made a brilliant save to keep car control on that after Ryan Kuhn got by for 11th position. And Kuhn starts to pull away and put his sights now on Joe Campbell and this top 10 lead draft, as Austin Edwards, the race leader, has got heavy lap traffic on his hands. That's Jeff Edgar ahead in car number 7. Edgar currently in last position. Then it's the 420 of Sean Anderson. Speaking of the 420, we need to take this opportunity to give a big hello and a get well soon to Matt Bear, who is out this week due to a hairline fracture on his elbow. Matt, we're wishing you the best. Get back soon, buddy, because I want to hear your bing bongs. Oh, we got trouble. Chris Johnson reports that he has crashed in the number 60. But I think he blinked. Hold that thought, Doug.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Yeah, he blinked. Yeah, he blinked. Nothing on the replay. You can see the lap traffic just being nice at the moment, just letting the leaders go by on lap number 56 of this race.
Nicholas seems all over the back bumper of Jonathan Schwartz. That was one of those drivers that's been really starting to move forward. And there he goes, down to the inside. Schwartz can't even defend on that one.
Seems like Seams has a much better car on the long run. Would you agree?
Oh, definitely. Not sure what it is, but man, that car has come alive the last few weeks in the last half of a run. If this thing stays green, he is definitely one to watch charge forward.
Had a pass behind him as well for Rocky Boyd, who was also trying to rebound after that first caution. Got past Greg Holtz as he takes away the 17th spot on the racetrack.
Gilliatt still holding 2nd and 3rd, and while they're running, they are managing to keep Austin inside as Austin continues to work a lot of lap traffic
Jeff
here.
Edgar went off the track for about a second. I think he caught the dirt in turn number 1, and I think he got loose off of turn number 4. He did.
Let's see if we can take a quick look at the Flaming Karma replay. He was loose out of 4 like crazy. Saves it all the way down the front straightaway. Still loose when he gets in the dirt, but man, that was a close call, but what a great save to already be loose, hit the dirt, and still save it. That's pretty impressive.
Ryan Kuhn now looking to make a pass on Joe Campbell to get into the top 10. And Ryan makes that look easy. Nice pass from him.
I think Joe is playing it a little bit safe now. Right now, he's got a lot of his team in the top 10. He's already up a lot of spots. He knows what can happen with all this lap traffic ahead. He's just going to play it safe, not fight a whole lot, especially with lap cars up top right now. If he starts fighting, you know, he might get a little bumper to him. So smart driving by Joe Campbell and getting close to green flag stops. Yeah, you know, guys are going to be a little bit more, some will be more conservative and start planning for those stops.
Absolutely. Stops should be coming between laps 80 through 90 at the moment. Something I thought of as well when it comes to Joe Campbell. I like this strategy too, to let Ryan Kuhn come by. I think what he's doing, he's intentionally getting a couple of car lengths back on this nose-to-tail train at the moment, because what if a wreck happens? He would have some time to dodge it.
And definitely a higher probability of that with all the lap traffic starting to get in here and guys trying to fight to stay in position to get back on the lead. Oh, Joe! Wow, the 88 cut down right in front of him. I am not sure they didn't touch. That was a close one.
That's Joseph Hurd, who just went a lap down at the moment. We've got 26 drivers on the lead lap. Next car that is scheduled to go a lap down is Stephen Wetton in car number 45. Meanwhile, for 17th, Hulls gets past John Schwartz. And here comes as well Robert Colgan. Schwartz, be careful there. I think there was a bumper off of Robert Colgan. Let him know, hey, dude, I had the gap. That was my corner, and Schwartz slams the door.
I think Schwartz has that car set up to be really, really good on corner entry. But
we got trouble. The 88's got around. Joseph Hurd is spun in turn 2. Get that car going, Joseph. There he goes. If he was still on the brakes, it would have been a caution, and there was some contact with Jeremy Leto. Let's look at the Flaming Karma Paint Shop replay.
Into turn 1, the 88. Look, oh, it looks like he came down a little bit, and then Leto just kind of pushed it off the turn just to see if he could complete the pass. And yeah, the 88 opens the door. No, I think Leto just pushed
like
up.
Leto came up. Yeah, I think Leto came up, and Jeremy Leto is a guy that's had a lot of issues when it comes to these very small tracks. You look at, for example, when a couple months ago, and there he goes. He's about to get turned again off of Kendrick Cryer. Nice save from Jeremy. And another bumper from Kendrick. As I was saying, let's keep this focused on Leto while we're at it. Kendrick gives him another one.
Kendrick must be really annoyed right now, because that young man, we talked about it last week about him ramping up the aggression this season, but man, I think tonight
gotta be careful, because the leaders are right in front. He got dumped, and he goes around right into the lap traffic.
And our second caution involves Jeremy Leto and Kendrick Cryer.
That was ridiculous.
I don't know what was going on between Cryer and Leto there.
Right into Jose Gaudino and right in front of Austin Edwards. And the 95 as well got involved of one of the Gilead drivers as everyone's into pit road while at it. That's Adam, who got up on 2 wheels. And that is why I said that was ridiculous, because you got to think in your head now. I get you can't look at the black box all the time. I completely understand that. But you got to think, if you're going to dump somebody like that or intentionally move somebody out of the way, you may want to look at that black box to make sure the leaders are not coming in your face.
That is true. And, you know, you got to wonder about Kendrick and if there was some previous incidents with Leto there that brought that all about, because Kendrick has been driving more aggressively, but not really using the bumper unless it comes down to the last, 20 laps or so. So there has got to have been something going on with Kendrick.
Absolutely. Pit road's open. We'll step aside. Restart coming up in a moment.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and eNASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
Coming to one lap to green here in the Oxford 400 presented by the XCAL Racing Web Shop. To recap that last yellow, Kendrick Cryer got onto Jeremy Leto and spun him, and there are a lot of bumpers for Cryer to get rid of Jeremy Leto. Cryer gets the black flag for that. Hewins, Gardino, and Johnson get waved around. Austin Evers, Matt Pelletier, row 1. Ryan Kuhn, Tyler McRae, row 2, rather. Edwards and Pelletier, row 1. Robert Colgan, John Schwartz, row 3. Zeller, Landry, Ryan Seams, Hewins, and rounds out the top 10 as we're back to green. Edwards gets us going. And how about Kuhn rebounding after that first caution all the way up into second spot and challenging for the race lead.
I'm not surprised. I just realized Kuhn has the highest I rating in the field by a lot. Like,
I believe he's a former pro too.
Double the highest rated other driver in the field. He's over a 10,000 I rating. So it'll be nice. It'll be interesting to see how Austin Edwards handles that driver on his bumper.
Once again, Tyler McRae in no man's land off the restart. A run to the inside for Alex Krapser, who I believe is trying to get back on the lead lap, and he is. That's not for position. In fact, a lot of drivers that were trapped a lap down were near the front of this pack on the restart. For right now, though, we focus on the battle for the lead as Kuhn starts to close in on the 18.
You got to wonder how that's going to work. You don't want to move, and I do believe that's an EHP car that Kuhn is driving tonight. So that's going to make things interesting as well.
I think you're right, too, man. For sure.
Austin does bring some big talent. As
here
comes
we go.
Kuhn, he looks to the inside. You have to wonder. Austin pulls down right in front of Pelletier. That was a close one, but we've seen Austin move over to let one of his drivers lead a lap in the past. Could that have been the play here, or does he just give the lead because Kuhn is faster?
I think so. You know, for Kuhn, that was a shallow entry into turn number 1. The shallow entries here at Oxford, very tough to get to stick, and Kuhn got it to stick. And how about Matt Pelletier? Keeping up with the top 2 in third position. This was a guy that was outside of the top 10 for most of that long run we had, and he is battling for the race lead. This is awesome to see from Matt.
Also great to see John Schwartz up 13 spots into 4th, and Robert Colgan up 17 spots into 5th. So these guys are starting to make their way forward here as well. And Ryan Seams still hanging out in 9th place. It would be a great night for Ryan to finish in 9th, but if he stayed in 9th all night long and finished 9th, that would just be a little weird.
Yeah. I want to go back to the last caution because I was going to mention this until the caution came out for the spin. But Jeremy Leto is a guy that doesn't really do the best or doesn't have a good reputation either on these very short ovals. You look at Irwindale Inner, for example, how he was just ragdolling other people around. And then Matt Bear, while leading, gave Jeremy Leto a taste of his own medicine and spun him out into the infield. That did not lead to a caution flag.
Yeah, it was a bold move by Matt Bear to pull that one off, and didn't lead to a caution, so there was no penalty for Matt. Probably one of the smart moves by Matt Bear. You know, the guy's up here contending. He figured out how to do it right, and keep himself out of trouble. So it was a great move. Holy cow, there's a lot of fighting going on right in front of Leto as we talk about him. You got to watch Leto on the really short tracks, but you mentioned his reputation. I think he's a big fan of Joan Jett and doesn't give a crap about his bad reputation.
Jose Gaudino losing 2 spots, maybe make it 3. Luke Turpin, Mason Foster, now Rocky Boyd get by. Turpin 1 spot away for the top 10, and it's on Albert Hewins. Gives him the bumper into turn number 3. Didn't give him too much of a shove to move him up the racetrack, but just let him know that he is right there.
Yeah, these guys are definitely fighting it out, trying to get any position they can. We're about a fourth of the way through this race, and while everybody's been pretty calm so far, you know, anything can happen at any moment, and guys want to find themselves in any open space they can find on track. Luke Turpin finally does come by.
Turpin up into the top 10. He was inside the top 10, if not the top 5, before the caution came out. And then we had all the pit stops, which, you know, in pit stops in XCAL Racing, the field is always shuffled through, no matter what happens. Alex Gretz brings the 17 into pit road. Unscheduled stop from the looks of it for car number 17. He had a 12-second pit stop on his first occasion on pit road. This is interesting.
Definitely an interesting situation for Crapser. And go read Danny's comment. Just, I am laughing. I was sitting here, I had to compose myself.
Oh my. That is what happens when EHP needs to compete with JNS Racing. Austin has to bring someone else in. Hey, Ryan Kuhn is the guy from Ryan Kuhn Motorsports Setup Shop. This is a guy that, if I recall correctly, also races a Super in real life. So,
they're bringing...
You wanted the best, you got the best.
And Austin went out to get. Now, it would be really ironic, given that comment, if we could see if one of the JNS drivers won today. You know, that would definitely be one of the most ironic, and I am sure JNS would be talking a lot of smack after that one.
Just saw last lap about a poof of smoke between Albert Hewins and Adam Gilliard. I think that was some tire smoke entering turn number 3. They're half a car length apart of each other. That is a battle on the racetrack for 13th, and now Adam closes in on Rocky Boyd. Behind them, they're double file. This could be a mess.
Jose Gaudino, obviously, the damage he took in that incident, fairly minor, not even saying just a little bit on that driver's side door panel, knocked in a hair, but car is okay. And you know, aerodynamics not huge here, so these cars can take a bit more damage than they normally could and still be very, very fast. So, you know, that'll come into play later in the race too. We talk about it, some tracks being a war of attrition, but you know, here it may not be.
Change for 5th position, PDJ Zeller just got past Robert Colgan. Now looks to set his sights on John Schwartz, who was 2.5 seconds ahead in 4th position. And now Colgan loses another spot. This time Ryan Seams, who was back up inside the top 10, running 8th.
Seems another one that is charged forward all night long and keeps making his way toward the front despite anything that happens. Right on the back bumper of Tyler McRae. And, you know, we talked about Kendrick Cryer using the bumper on Leto earlier. But I guarantee you that last 100 laps, there's going to be a lot of damage to front and rear bumpers as guys really start moving each other.
McRae trying to rebound once again after a tough restart. He's had a restart on the outside line for the entire race whenever we have to stack the field up and see the green flag. But seems to be impatient at the moment. Oh, hang on, Joe Campbell. Woo, what a save from the 63. I thought that car was either going 1 into the dirt modes or number 2. That was going around like Leto's did. That is a beauty of a save.
See if we can get the replay on what happened to Joe here. We saw a little bit of it right behind. He was going under the 48 there and just gets too much of the curbing and still manages to save, keeps his foot in it, and takes off.
Those curbings, you do not want to hit those at all. In fact, you know, a track that has similar curbing, has similar sausages. That's actually an official race last week, was the Red Bull Ring. I took a Radical out there on track. A couple of times I went off track in turn 1 and I actually caught that curb. and the car would, you just lose all your steering. I almost spun that car around. I was so loose. I don't know how the car would stay straight. And obviously with street stocks, it's easier to control. Radicals are a lot tougher, obviously.
Try a Lotus 79 at Red Bull Ring and clip any one of the sausages there in that car. It's a fun car to drive. It's a blast of a track to drive. XCAL should take a road course there. There's an idea. But
international. Matt Pelletier, by the way, in pit road.
Giving up third place, and it is a bit early for this. In fact, it is way early.
He may have been banking on a caution to come out, but I understand why you want to make shorter pit stops, because you want to stay on the lead lap as much as you can. I get that, without having to go a lap down and, you know, have to deal with the rhythmicity. That's just the word I just created of iRacing and lap traffic. Ooh, hang on, close call there. Right in front of the leader, Leto and Zach Edwards trading some pain in 3 and 4.
We've seen it in the past where Leto is at the center of a lot of controversy. Could tonight be another one of those nights? Although you got to give the guy a shout out. He did get the win at Bristol earlier this season, so he knows how to get it. Of course, that was some unique circumstances, but Leto's in the win column, and he has had a lot of great runs. But looks like somebody was trying to get to pit road.
That is Sean Andrews.
Sean Andrews, this tricky pit road. We talked about it briefly. Very briefly in the pre-race. Going to Sean Andrews, tell him about it, Marty.
And actually what happened on lap number 113, Danny actually just mentioned this, it didn't pop up on our system, but Cryer actually put the bumper on the 420 and another conga line stack up. Sean Andrews head on into the outside front stretch wall, and so had to go into pit road and also had to let the leaders by. But when he came into pit road the first time, he actually missed the dirt mount. He actually missed it twice. Had to back the car up, and now he's in pit road for a long stop. Unfortunate for Sean Andrews, after a guy who actually, if I recall correctly, had a great run last week.
Definitely, and you mentioned briefly the dirt mounts. We've kind of avoided talking about it so far, but let's just get it out of the way. The elephant in the room. There are some big dirt mounts, and when this race gets rough, as we saw with one of the Gilliatt brothers earlier, cars tend to get bumped into the infield, tend to hit those, and tend to go flying. If you hit it, it's likely the end of your race, but it is entertaining for the fans to watch a car go flying over the dirt mound.
Andrews finished 43rd last week. However, though, he was having a good run inside the top 10 before the wreck happened. Go to fourth spot, the best battle on track here as Devin Landry puts the bumper on PDJ Zeller. Landry gets loose right in front of the 3. And a nice save for him as John Schwartz now takes the 99 to pit road.
I'm thinking we're seeing some pit strategy here because some of these guys are pitting a lot sooner than expected. I know a few of them stayed out on track, so it's understandable that they came in. But, man, you know what? It's going to be really interesting as we see a bunch of different pit strategies play out here.
Landry now starting to deal with Ryan Seams for fourth spot on track. And how about Petey? First time into the top 3. He's got a long way to catch Austin Edwards. He is 7 seconds ahead of the 00. Now he's got to do with a loose car. Oh, he gets caught for the 88 of Joseph Hurd.
Hurd just loses
a tough break. Yeah, he just lost it. Now, what's the damage like on the 00?
Let's take a look and see what happened to Hurd here. As he comes off turn 4, he was already loose. Doesn't look like there was any impact. Just looked like he was out of the groove, got loose, and collected a couple of cars in the process.
At the same time, too, I think he was trying as well to let the leaders go by because you're not supposed to race the leader, so that's just unfortunate for Zeller. The car still looks fine. There's just some right side body damage. But these street stocks sure do take a beating even with the new damage model. But still hanging on for that third position because Ryan Seams is all over him.
Yeah, 7 1/4 seconds back from Austin Edwards, but believe it or not,
Oh, we got trouble. Sean Andrews and Jose Gaudino have gone off the track. That is in 3 and 4. And there was some contact between Gaudino and Colgan, and then Andrews gets clipped once again. And if I'm Sean Andrews, I'm thinking, you gotta be kidding me, I'm done.
It looked like Gaudino just came down a little bit, clipped the car to the inside, and then chaos ensues from there. Definitely a wild event there, but they cleared the racing surface, so we stay green.
Yeah, that's nothing on Robert Colgan. That car just got loose.
Colgan
Because
was just
of
in the
contact.
wrong place, wrong time.
Innocent bystander, for sure.
Ryan Kuhn, at the moment, you know, it's really weird to see guys up here like Jonathan Schwartz stuck in or becoming lap traffic as Kuhn gets to him.
Only 8 drivers are on the lead lap, and at lap number 134, that's actually normal for Oxford Plains Speedway.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder how many can Kuhn lap before this is over. And something we have never seen happen before, but could Austin Edwards
Oh,
get lapped
stack
here?
up! Man, that got close. I thought Ryan Kuhn was going sideways off the bumper of the 22 of Jeremy Gilliatt.
It got a little dicey there. That a bunch of lap traffic trying to maintain and be able to keep their position and have the potential to get a wave around if a caution comes out, but it's happening right in front of the leader, and that just spells trouble.
You notice as well Kuhn trying to get by. He's doing a wider entry in the corners on the front straightaway than on the back straightaway. Is it because, you know, there's a much larger width entering turn 1 than there is entering turn 3?
I think it really just comes down to both ends of the track are pretty much the same. I think it comes down to the 3 and the barrier or the curbing in 3 and 4 is a lot rougher than the curbing in 1 and 2. In addition to that, there's a lot more to lose if you go off in 3 and 4. There's a lot further to go.
Absolutely. So we'll step aside for a break. Ryan Kuhn leads, Austin Edwards second, PDJ Zeller third, Ryan Seams fourth, Devin Landry the top 5. Pit stops coming up after the break.
This is my good friend who had cancer when we were really little, and he was able to beat it through early detection, and now he just recently graduated from Santa Clara.
My dad was diagnosed with cancer my freshman year of high school. Thanks to early detection, he now gets to see me graduate from college.
Eight years ago, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, but thanks to early detection, I'll get to spend this Christmas with her.
My dad was diagnosed with cancer when I was 10, and he passed away soon after. Maybe if we had early detection, he would have been able to be there to walk me down the aisle.
Early detection saves lives.
Welcome back. I hope you didn't hear us talk about night lighting.
They didn't.
Here. Did they hear us, Doug?
No, they did not. I'm just sitting here
Okay.
laughing about it because I kept you muted until we...
That's hilarious. Anyway, 152 laps are complete. Austin Edwards is the new leader after Ryan Kuhn came into pit. Kuhn currently back in the 18th position. Let's say hello to a couple of people watching in chat. Hello to Jacob Morgan watching. Hope you're doing well, sir. Terry Pierce Jr. also watching in the chat. Happy birthday to you, sir. Looking on the YouTube side of things, hello to Jason Seams rooting for Nick as Nicholas Seams trying to go forward. He's currently in 18th position. Bobman says, McKinley says, go Uncle Rai Rai. Or is it Riri? Yeah.
I'm assuming that's Ryan Seams, and I have a funny one about Jacob Morgan. He races with the Nowski group on Wednesday night, and I refuse to interview him during a race anymore. Every time I interview him, he's coming through the field, he's up there, it looks like he can get the win, I'll interview him, and then as soon as the green flag drops, he gets caught in a wreck, so I will not interview him anymore.
Anyway, looking at other things out there, JR iRacing rooting for Topher and says that the Canadian restarts will take care of him. We've got trouble. John Schwartz has crashed, but that may have been from a blank. I won't. Oh, now we got trouble. Look who it is, Leto and Schwartz.
And it looks like Gratz is caught up in something too. Let's see what happened. Leto is slow on the front. Let's see here. Leto just off the banging into the 17, it looked like, and then bumps the 7. And he just
rode on him. Was there any? I don't even recall if there was any prior history between the 17 and the 01. I'm trying to see here. Well, there was contact beforehand off of turn number 2 from a stack up where Gratz got Leto loose, but that's because of a conga line issue. Jeremy Leto has no right to be pissed at that. It's Oxford Speedway. That's just racing. Leto's got a thinner skin than Joe Campbell today, I think. No offense, Joe, by the way. No offense. But
you realize Danny's about to throw some hate at you in the comments.
No offense, Danny. I know what I'm about to get for that, but...
Do it, Danny. Do it.
Y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean, right? No, but...
Oh, this is interesting. So, Jason Seams is actually rooting for both Nick and Ryan. Ryan being his brother, but he's Nick's dad. So there's when the family gets out there racing, then it comes down to the last lap. If they're side by side, who do you root for in that one? And it'll always be your kid. I can promise you that.
Oh, we got a quick trouble. James Johnson around in the 39, trying to find the replay. He was in the top 5 at the time. And
looks like he was. Oh, he was diving to pit road. Got the dive in too late. Goes over the bumps, and yeah, just really close call with hitting the dirt mounds. But he'll be able to make a comeback here tonight, thankfully.
That's a tough break for the driver in the Higgins 67. Now, keep in mind, drivers used to be able to tell each other when they were coming in through the Whale PD, but that's been disabled ever since the All-Star race, and. The best way for drivers to signal that they are coming in is to drop low off of turn number 2, just to signal they're coming in. But obviously it's tough, and there is one of the effects. Now, Aaron Hellebusch did talk about this in the drivers' meeting about coming into pit road. Just show you're coming in by entering in turn number 3, and if you don't and you cause a wreck, that's going on you.
Well, knowing that there is that big bump there, the curbing here is so rough, you've really got to make that entry on the back straightaway anyway, just to be safe here. And this pit road is so weird because there's actually 2 different pit roads. It is so different that you really... Oh, we've got a spin in 4.
Oh, Alex Gratz, that's right in front of the leader. Caution flag is out.
Let's see what happened here. The 17 was up top of the 25, and I think there was some netcode at play off the turn, off the, no, that was not netcode.
Leto's involved, thank goodness. The 51's also involved of Sean Patrick. The 3 car as well of Robbie Connealy.
A lot of guys
crap.
caught up as that wreck started happening on the back straightaway, and that wreck kind of started out of turn 2, and a lot of guys managing to avoid that successfully, but man, it was a little bit close, and unfortunately several drivers are caught up in it.
Austin Edwards with the closest call of everyone. Nice job to miss that.
Yeah, there he goes right behind the bottom. He jumps to the curbing. The Robbie Keneally actually jumped over the curbing, tried to pull the same move that Austin did, but ended up coming off the curbing and going around. But Austin did a great job.
So Austin comes in. Now keep in mind, by the way, that was a near 100-lap run for him on pit stop. So that was a nice job from him. Now he's going to come in a second time to get his fuel, I would assume.
Does look like it. Fuel probably right sides. We heard drivers talking about all the tire wear being an issue here tonight. I would expect to see a lot of right side tire changes at some point just to check the handling, but you never know. A lot of different... Austin did not get any tires. He just topped off on fuel.
So he'll assume the race lead in front of Ryan Coombe, who had already stopped. So we have a racing deal is the cause of the caution between Alex Gratz and Chris Johnson. I'm going to rewind this just to confirm my notes here and make sure I'm looking at everything here correctly.
The initial contact that put Gratz sideways was a bunch of net code. I mean, there were several feet between them. The second contact, they were a lot closer, but could be called net code. But once both of them were out of shape, they were on each other like crazy.
Alrighty. That is now understandable. I now get that. That does make perfect sense when they came up, so, or one came up and the other came down. So we're going to reset the field here. As we come back to green, you can look at the field here from our XCAL Racing blimp camera. Beautiful view of the Oxford Plains Speedway, set at 0.38 miles.
I find it funny they call it a speedway, given the size of this track, but it is still... And look, Austin Edwards found the victory lane as he waits for the pace truck. Could that be a sign of things to come? Is he just getting himself in the right place?
May have been parking it a little bit too early. Who knows? So Ryan Coon will actually assume the race lead because he was the one that stayed out, I think.
I think there's a timing and scoring glitch here because Austin stopped. Ryan Coon does go by, but Ryan is currently in front of the pace truck. So who knows? We've talked about it at a lot of different tracks. These short tracks, iRacing has glitches occasionally with the scoring, especially when you start talking about green flag stops, lap traffic, everything else. There can be a few problems. So it looks like Aaron Hillebush is sorting it out.
Yep, of course, the rule is that he always says is to check your heads up displays. So while we are under caution, let's take a look at our How to Suck at iRacing full field rundown. We'll do this quickly because we're under caution. 4 drivers on the lead lap. Ryan Coon leads, Luke Turpin second, Matt Pelletier third, Austin Edwards fourth, Jeremy Gilliatt fifth, Mason Foster sixth, PDJ Zeller seventh, Ryan Seams eighth, Alex Krapser 9th, Devin Landry 10th, Robert Colgan 11th, Tyler McCray 12th, John Schwartz 13th, Adam Gilliatt 14th, Greg Holes 15th, Rocky Boyd 16th, Robbie Keneally 17th, Zach Edwards 18th, Joe Campbell 19th, and Nicholas Seams 20th. 21st is Jose Gaudino, 22nd, Billy Snodgrass, 23rd, Sean Patrick, 24th is Gerald Poole, 25th, Albert Hewins, 26th, Alex Gratz, 27th, Jeremy Letto, 28th, Jim Johnson, 29th, Kendrick Cryer, 30th, Stephen Wetton, 31st is Jeff Edgar, 32nd, Derek Colson, 33rd, Joseph Hurd, 34th, Chris Johnson, and 35th is Sean Andrews. Single file restart as we come back to the green flag. Kuhn will have a 5.6 second advantage on this restart. Back to green. And you watch the battle for second closely between Luke Turpin and Matt Pelletier. They are the closest to each other on the racetrack for the runner-up spot.
Yeah, that and
Caution. Derek Colson in turn number 4 has spun, and there is some contact with the 717 of Rocky Boyd.
Oh, looks like Rocky. Oh, he had the nose almost in there. Gets a hair too low and gets up on the curbing. The curbing pushes him out, and they both are impacted by that.
67 also involved. Ryan Seams just barely missing it. And for Ryan Kuhn, this seems like a good idea. Hey, why not? I'll come in and change my tires.
Yeah, it's definitely the perfect timing after that last caution. It had given him that big lead. He'll have a bit of advantage. Looks like Austin Edwards is in. Luke Turpin, the only driver staying out. You have to wonder if Turpin is back to his fuel-saving ways here tonight.
No. It was Netco that was deemed the issue between the 717 and the 5. We've got select drivers coming into the pits, and this will give the race lead to Luke Turpin in the 454. While we're at it, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Turpin pitted on lap 167. We say 80 to 90 laps on a fuel run tonight, but, Turpin could probably go another 100. So how far can he stretch it, and could he put himself in a position to make this a one more stop and snooker everybody like he's done in the past?
While we're at it, let's go back to our full field rundown presented by How to Suck at iRacing. And Doug, what is coming up on How to Suck at iRacing?
Well, tomorrow night, the Nowski Nation returns in their Legacy Series with the earlier cars from 2012, 2013 that no downforce, high power. It makes for some great racing. Thursday night, I do believe the American All-Star Dirt Series is back, and Sunday morning, as always, GT3 NSS is back to start the new week.
Fans, don't forget to check out the XCAL Racing web shop at xcalracing.com/shop. Get our newest products, which include the XCAL Racing Shoulder Money Bag, a Whale PD Corkback Coaster, and an XCAL Racing 22 print pot holder with a pocket. And not forget as well the Whale PD Bluetooth speaker. All things going on now at xcalracing.com/shop. Sim Racer Hub is our official point standings provider of XCAL Racing. If you own or manage an iRacing league, let Sim Racer Hub take care of the point standings for you. For more info, check out simracerhub.com. If you're interested in becoming a super fan of XCAL Racing, make sure you check out our Patreon. If you go to xcalracing.com, hit 2022 or the competitors link, scroll all the way down to become an XCAL Racing Patreon, and hit the I Heart XCAL button to become a super fan. Must be 18 or older to enter. Our Victory Lane sponsor is Fuel Factor X, presented by KMU Trucking. Fuel Factor X is where you can consistently save 10 to 20% on fuel, extend the life of your car, and help the world have a cleaner air. It's a comprehensive fuel treatment. Other products may have one or two of our components, but none have all of them. It's like a superfood for your engine. For more info and to purchase Fuel Factor X, make sure you go to mydailychoice.com and search up Fuel Factor X. Luke Turpin brings it back to green, 186 complete.
And off into turn one, and you did notice that even the pace truck jumps the dirt mounds. As they get back up to speed, Turpin pulls ahead of Kuhn. Matt Pelletier right on their bumper in third. Austin Edwards has a lap car between him and the third place car, and he is back in fourth. Only 8 cars on the lead lap. Ryan Seams at the tail end of the lead lap in 8th right now.
Waves went to Mason Foster, PDJ Zeller, and Ryan Seams, so because of that, they had to go to the end of the longest line. But this battle is on with the top 3 drivers on the track. Turpin, Kuhn, and Pelletier. First time we've seen Turpin up front tonight. Kuhn and Pelletier have had really fast cars. We know Ryan Kuhn has a fast car. I believe as he gives the bumper to Luke Turpin, allow me to introduce myself. And then you've got Pelletier up here with a great run for him tonight in third.
Yeah, it is. Pelletier started to put some really good runs together the last few races. Expect to see more of him as the season goes on and into next season. He definitely has some speed out here. He's got racing and XCAL figured out, and I expect to see a lot more of him.
0.2 of a second separate the top two on track. Got a good battle on hand for 27th. James Johnson and Jeff Edgar, two guys that have been involved in an incident earlier tonight. Johnson up to 27th. At this moment, he's currently 5 laps behind the leader in Luke Turpin. But Kuhn is all over Superman here, so this will be interesting to see what happens in this battle for the lead.
I don't think Kuhn was really giving the bumper to him. I think he just got in deeper because Kuhn's been making a concerted effort to stay off the back bumper. So I don't think you don't get to where Kuhn is by driving rough. It looks like he is playing it patient, playing it safe, and looking for an opportunity. But man, waiting for Superman to make a mistake is going to be difficult.
Here goes Kuhn looking to go around the outside. What he was trying to do was go for the wider entry into turn number 1. However, though, Turpin was up on the quarter panel, so unfortunately that could not work on his end. But back on the bumper of Turpin. See if this works out. Again, looking on that second groove. Nobody has been able to make a pass on that second groove unless you're trying to avoid an incident.
No, he might be about to do it here because he really sent it that time.
Diamonds it.
And could be just setting
Here we
Turpin
go.
up. Nope, he gets the... Turpin manages to block the run. Kuhn almost gets the nose in on that one. He is just setting him up, and, you know, him making that run up on the high side may make Turpin think he might could do something up there. Oh, he gets a little bit loose off the curbing.
Turpin's been known as well for playing defensive. When someone gets a run all the way down to the inside off of the racing line, he'll defend it well.
Yeah, he will. But, you know, Turpin's also going to be smart. If he sees that he is a ton faster and could start bumping him, he'll move and let him by to slide back into second place and just save fuel and play the strategy game, because that is where Turpin outdoes everybody.
Zach Edwards brings the number 6 car onto pit road as Turpin tries to open up a gap a little bit. Let's go to a battle for 13th. Rocky Boyd and Joe Campbell.
Joe's really had a great season so far. Consistently up in the top 15. A lot of top 10 finishes, and started his season off with a win. And it looked like, man, compared to last season, you'd think this was a whole new driver in the car. Joe has just stepped it up a ton and is way faster.
Absolutely. 19th in standings coming on in. A much better season for him compared to how it was last season when he joined late in the season. Changed for 15th. Greg Holes and Tyler McRae. I don't know what it is with the high side and Tyler McRae, but it's like they're linked together, like they're in a relationship. As John Schwartz gets by for 16th.
And a little bit of bumping going on there as well, as Greg Holes pulls ahead. But, man, it's getting a little dicey out there with some of these groups of cars, with lap cars trying to get back around and guys that are trying to fight for position, run people down. There's a lot of guys you wouldn't expect to, not even on the same lap, bumping each other.
Boyd and Campbell working on Kendrick Cryer. Cryer currently running in 25th, trying to recover after causing the second yellow of our race earlier tonight when he got into Jeremy Lutto many times.
You know, the question has to be asked. Joe Campbell is so much faster this season. Could he be using performance-enhancing drugs?
Oh, gosh. Maybe that's where all that rage comes from. I'm kidding. We love you, Joe.
Honestly, man, Joe has stepped it up in such a big way. That whole J&S team really has come together this season.
Ooh. Meanwhile, look at this. This has turned into an 8-car freight train. There goes Sylvia. Went all the way down to the apron to try and pass Turpin. Fans are on their feet at Knoxville. This is a 4-car battle for the race lead. Although the 95 of Joliet's not in it, he is allowed to race the drivers. No, he's not. He's 2 laps down. But this is a huge wad with about maybe 10 or 12 cars in this. Now Kuhn goes up on the outside, pulls up to the door of Luke Turpin. Will we see our first pass for the lead on the high side? At the stripe? Not yet.
I don't know if Kuhn times this right. He's going to get that pass on the high side. He has just got too much speed up top.
Oh!
And I think he might have gotten Turpin a little loose, and Turpin may have just... I think Turpin intentionally slowed down there to give him a little hope, and then I think Turpin might have been trying to trap him up top and make him go back a few spots.
He had to tuck it back in line because Billy Snodgrass had spun a couple of moments ago. Now he'll try and get on the attack. But when do you try and make the move? I mean, I know Kuhn is trying to make the move, but you cannot go until you can't go too late because you've got a flurry of lap traffic ahead, and they're going to want to go to the outside line as well. So that's one thing to keep in mind, too.
It's definitely going to be a tough one. Kuhn is setting up that high line, and I think he's working that high line in. With more and more cars hopping up there, that high line will start to build up a little bit of grip and a little bit of speed, but it doesn't have enough right now. Kuhn keeps making an effort, though, and I expect at some point he's going to figure out a way to get around Turpin up top.
Gotta step aside. We gotta go to a commercial break. If trouble breaks out, we'll break in as you watch this battle for the lead. Oh! Kuhn gets Turpin loose! Here comes Pelletier looking for the race lead! Oh boy, that got nearly violent. And here goes Kuhn down to the bottom. Turpin slaps the door on him. And Pelletier is the odd man out of that because he thought he was about to go 2 for 1. But now Edwards gets a run down to the inside for third.
That was a shocking turn of events right there. And look right behind Pelletier. There's guys racing side by side gaining on him too.
Very surprised to see Luke Turpin driving this early. You saw he clipped the curb there. We'll see if Kuhn tries to attack. Again, Kendrick Cryer off track. Hang on. Turn number 3. He goes off. And
Turpin moves over and lets Kuhn go. Let's see what happened to Kendrick real quick.
There's a lot of contact. I don't know what to think about that.
Kendrick got loose and then came down the track and catches 2 of the mounds. That car may not be in the best shape. He may have to go in for repairs. Might have done some damage to the underside.
So Ryan Kuhn takes the race lead after a pass on Luke Turpin. Turpin knows there's a lot of racing left to go. He's currently second. Austin Edwards third. Matt Pelletier fourth. Jeremy Gilliatt rounds out the top 5. Again, if trouble breaks out, we'll break in.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and eNASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
229 laps are complete as Ryan Kuhn leads. He starts to work on another lap car in Jeremy Leto. We have officially one DNF from this race, and that is the 48 of Kendrick Cryer. Cryer was finished in last position tonight. That's a tough break, but a really rough night for Kendrick Cryer. A big hello in chat to David Michael Lee. Actually, that's a hello to you. That's not a hello to me.
No, hi, David.
But a hello to Stephen Rex, rooting for Tyler McRae. McRae currently running in 17th position at the moment. Looking as well in the other chats too, GT Racer 347, hello to him, saying good times in this race, and hello to Johnny B watching on Twitch, says great broadcast. Let's look at another good battle on the racetrack. Second spot, Luke Turpin and Austin Edwards, Doug.
I don't know that Turpin's going to give up a second spot to Austin as easily as he did to Kuhn. But that lap traffic in front of him, that's what I'd be worried about, because it's the 94 directly in front of him, and in front of him is the 01 of Jeremy Leto, who is, let's just say, been involved in a lot of stuff tonight.
Thought for a moment Colgan was about to get Leto loose. In fact, here's a fun fact. Jeremy Leto's got the most incident points tonight. He's got 32 this evening.
Ouch.
Only 3 drivers have 0x at the moment. And no, it's not Zach Edwards, unfortunately.
Big wreck!
Oh, no! Right in front of the leaders!
Turpin gets caught!
Oh, my goodness! You gotta be kidding me!
And it looks like Jeremy Leto was involved. Let's take a look.
The 51 got sideways of Sean Patrick.
Coming through 1 and 2, Sean Patrick just ahead of him.
That's a tough break. Ah.
Not sure what happened to Sean. We'll take a look at that one. But Luke Turpin, probably the biggest loser on that one.
You hate to see that, man. You really do. He was having a good night. Sean?
Was he headed to pit road? I have no idea what happened there, but it looked like he was headed to pit road for a moment. Let's see if we can see Luke Turpin in this event. It looked like...
I think he was.
And he just cut in too late.
And that will go on the 51 regardless of what happens, of who caused the spin. That's unfortunate. And so we've got pit stops taking place.
Turpin got stuck on the hill. I'm not sure how the heck he ended up having to tow to pit road. So what a heartbreak for Luke Turpin, who was running in second place. Ryan Kuhn now has the lead. Austin Edwards, Mason Foster, second and third. Petey now to fourth. Ryan Seams is going to come off pit road in fifth. Devin Landry sixth. Jeremy Gilliott 7th, Adam Gilliott 8th, Tyler McRae in 9th. Looks like Robbie Keneally, who had a rough start to the night, is now back up into the top 10.
So we reset the field as a bunch of drivers come into pit road. It does.
Now the aggression will really, right around lap 240, we will see guys start pushing a little bit harder here. Likely only one more stop for those that came in just now.
So this will be an interesting restart here as we come to lap 280. Let's recap what happened on that. Obviously, Sean Patrick getting ruled with the black flag. The Joliet brothers and Jeremy and Adam, they were waved around the pace car.
So 8 cars left on the lead lap at the moment.
Currently for sure. While we are at it, we can tell you the fastest lap of the race does belong to Ryan Kuhn at a 16.15. Second fastest lap, I believe, is either Austin Edwards or PDJ Zeller with a 16.2.
Yeah. Petey's had some fast laps and has continued making his way forward and stayed in the top 10 all night. There will not be a huge gap between Austin and Kuhn this time on the restart as there had been the previous couple.
So we're going to line this field up in 2 laps from now. And it looks like we only have 2 guys on the outside line for this restart. Everyone else will go down low. Actually, we're going to green this time by. So Austin Edwards, Ryan Kuhn, row number 1. Mason Foster's 3rd. Devin Landry 4th. Ryan Seams 5th. PDJ Zeller, Jeremy Gilliat, Adam Gilliat round out the top 8. They're the final 3 on the lead lap. Barney waves the green flag back to green. And a great restart from Ryan Kuhn over his good friend in Austin Edwards. They go 1 and 2. 1.2 seconds back in 3rd is Mason Foster.
You know, that's kind of frustrating for these guys. They know what they're getting into, but man, when you're restarting in 3rd and that far back, it's a tough fight to get through all the lap traffic, especially when you've got some really fast cars right in front of you that you've got to fight your way through to get back up there. It's going to be a tough battle, but he does have a couple of teammates up there, and if it comes down to it, they'll move for him.
Not a lot of battles on the racetrack at the moment. We've got this battle for the race lead. We've also got a good race happening for 13th between Nicholas Seams and Rocky Boyd.
Rocky Boyd having another great run here tonight, currently in 14th. He had qualified up in 8th, so not exactly where he wants to be running, but man, he is putting on a good show since coming to XCAL.
Also got as well Sean Andrews and Jeremy Lettle battling for a position. That is for 29th on the racetrack. So you know Lettle's going to work his tail off to try and hold on to that position. Let's look back at the race lead, though. Austin's just going to be patient here from the looks of it and just work behind Ryan Kuhn to try and get a big gap on Mason Foster. Foster, though, is closed in, now down to a second, so he's a part of this lead pack at the moment.
Got by one of the cars between him and there, and now the 23, moves out of the way and lets him get by. The team is working together to
caution? Nope, no caution. Jeremy Lettle flipping in the infield in turn number 3. He got punted from his old rival in Tyler McRae. Up and over he went.
Oh, down into turn 2, and the dirt mound comes into play. Leto does stick the landing on this one, and the engine is still running. As you mentioned, no caution, and Foster is off.
That's the 3rd place driver, and the caution flag is out. And I think there was some payback between Leto and McRae on that situation.
Let's take a look. Here is Leto.
No, it wasn't.
He was just way loose off turn. His right front wheel is frozen.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's absolutely stupid.
He was trying to limp it back, just couldn't make it, and now several cars get taken out by that. Let's see what happened to Mason. Trying to find the replay on Mason Foster. Here it is.
Man. That's a shame for a lot of drivers. There was contact from Leto that got Foster.
Yeah.
And another good car is wiped out of this.
Stephen Wetton also gets caught up in that. See what happens to the 45 here as he comes down into 1 and 2.
It's because Leto couldn't steer the thing. He probably got a meatball flag from that too because of the steering issues. And normally that is when you have to bring the car into pit road. Because of the way Leto's car was going, I would have brought that into pit. I would have just towed the thing.
Yeah.
I've had issues before. I've been in a similar situation in an IndyCar race at Michigan where I just nipped my rear wing with a retaining wall. Just nipped it. I couldn't control my car any long, and I tried to be our hero and keep it going because I thought it was, cold tires. But nah, I had an issue, and then I got into some leaders. Which is a protestable offense, too. I'll add that.
Yeah, it is definitely not what you wanted to see. Leto just took out a bunch of guys just trying to get that car back to pit road. That right front was obviously locked up. Why he didn't, the question will come up, why didn't he tow while he was in the grass when he had the opportunity? You know he was trying to get it going again. He may not have known that right front was broken, but man, as soon as he did, through 3 and 4, he should have pulled off track and just towed it in. I think there'll be an inquiry about that one.
I think a lot of drivers, when they saw Leto get disqualified, I think there were a lot of happy drivers out there that saw that he got DQ'd. All right, so waiver rounds go to Adam Gilliatt, Devin Landry, and Robbie Keneally. They'll get back on the lead lap.
So Leto officially disqualified? Is that the word now?
Yes, Leto has been disqualified from the race. He is the third car that is DNF'd. And maybe even the fourth, because Foster is still in pit road. I don't know if he's going to keep that car in the pits for the rest of the night.
Well, he did have to tow, which always causes a bit of a delay, but hopefully Mason will get back out there. He obviously has a really fast race car, so hopefully he'll be able to get enough repairs on that car. Trying to get a closer look at it, but there you go. Not a ton of damage to that car, so hopefully he gets that thing fixed up and going again because he definitely has some speed. He could still pick up a lot of spots here tonight.
So 8 cars on the lead lap. And after pit stops, Austin Edwards is now the race leader. Ryan Kuhn falls back to second position. Ryan Seams is in third spot. And I'm not sure who's going to be in fourth here. It should be PDJ Zeller in fourth, and it is. Jeremy and Adam Gilliatt fifth and sixth. Robbie Kennedy seventh. Devin Landry eighth. The only 8 on the lead lap. Top 5 drivers line up on the front 3 rows. Let's get back to green here, Doug.
Pace truck is in. Pace truck jumps the dirt. Austin fires. They are away. What a comeback from Ryan Seams, who was a lap down not that long ago. Now back up into the top 3 and battling for the lead. Can he hang with these top 2? PDJ Zeller also there in fourth.
Chris Johnson has spun on the back straightaway. Actually, no, he was just letting drivers go by. Don't show the replay on that, please. But anyway, Ryan Seams, I was actually about to say this too. He is actually in contention for 5 bonus points. Biggest mover of the race, up 23 positions. Ryan Kuhn, fastest lap of the race, 16:09. Just snatched that from Devin Landry at a 16:14. I don't know, we could be getting closer and closer to hanging the 15s tonight. That's going to be very tough, though.
It will be tough. Just getting word, Mason Foster did get a meatball from that incident, so he is going to be on pit road for a while. A heartbreak for a guy who's been in the top 5 all night long.
I like the roast from Danny in the chat, too, saying the very unpremiere driver gave Mason a meatball. Foster said as well, 2 weeks in a row, fast car and get taken out. I'll get him next week. Now, last week, Mason Foster did lead a couple of laps. I think this was he had the car to win, and then his power went out.
Yes, that was the week that his power went out, so a heartbreaking couple of weeks in a row.
I don't think Mason Foster could sleep at all after what happened in that race. It was very unfortunate for the driver of the 96, who had a winning car for sure. Devin Landry and Adam Gilliatt battling for 6th on the racetrack. Let's focus on this.
Yeah, Austin just let Kuhn by a few moments ago and dropped back in line. So now Gilliatt trying to hold off Landry. This could get interesting.
You're right. Austin did let Kuhn go by after Kuhn got a run down the inside line. But yes, let's go back and watch this battle. They work on lap traffic. That's he wins in the 55.
Albie had such a great race. Was it last week that he was just so fast up in the top 5 and just got caught by bad luck again? But you got to root for the guy. He just never gives up.
I think he did have a top 10 car. I think you're right on that too. So Kyler McRae and Robert Colgan battling for 12th.
Right in front of the battle. This is how mixed up this track gets very, very quickly at just over a third of a mile, man. Everybody, doesn't matter what lap you're on, you're racing against somebody, oftentimes not even for position. You're just trying to get to the guy that you need to battle for position, because as they run, the whole track is full. There is not an open spot anywhere on track.
And again, a hole's forced underneath. Trying to see who that is. That's the 63 of Joe Campbell. And McRae is stuck up on that second groove once again. Nicholas Seams closing in 3/4 of a second back.
Nicholas Seams, another one that's having a good night. Has been in the top 15, broken into the top 10 a couple times. Having a great run here in the last couple of weeks as well.
273 laps are complete. Excuse me, 274 laps are complete.
Now 275. You could. The laps go by so quickly here. You could, by the time you get done saying one, the next one's over.
Now, as we look at this, a lot of drivers pitting on lap 253. This is a one-stop race to the end. Just got to hit 325 around for the finals. For the final stop, I would assume, or 330, 340, and you'd be good to go the distance.
You know, a few of these drivers are definitely playing that strategy out, including the driver back in 15th, trying to make his way forward. Luke Turpin, currently in 15th, he definitely knows how to play that strategy in the fuel mileage, stretch it as far as possible. So he could have one of the fastest final stops here just because he's so good at saving fuel.
He's just about a lap behind. Oh, Turpin gives the bumper to the 88 of Joseph Hurd, saying, "Get out of the way. I gotta get going." And he really does. If he wants to get back up in the top 10 and get a better chance at a payday.
Yeah, he's got to move quickly, and oh, he sends it deep into one. He got a little bit loose there. As they come off turn 2, the 88 finally lets him clear, and it slides back down. And no, he does not. He's going to let Schwartz by as well.
Go back to, let's focus on Matt Pelletier as Rocky Boyd starts to close in for 9th position. No Jonathan Bergeron in that number 717 tonight, and so we wish him a big hello. We hope he is doing well. But he's got to be very impressed. Same with Don Jordan, watching Rocky Boyd have a good top 10 night.
Yeah, he's got to be very, very happy with the way that car is performing tonight. And Pelletier has been up in the top 3, has gotten a lot of time on camera because he's been up there battling those top 2 guys, and that's impressive given the caliber of drivers up front.
282 laps are complete. Ryan Kuhn leads. Austin Edwards second. Ryan Seams third. PDJ Zeller fourth. Jeremy Gilliatt is fifth. We'll step aside.
This is my good friend who had cancer when we were really little, and he was able to beat it through early detection. And now he just recently graduated from Santa Clara.
This picture's really funny. My dad was diagnosed with cancer my freshman year of high school. Thanks to early detection, he now gets to see me graduate from college.
8 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, but thanks to early detection, I'll get to spend this Christmas with her.
My dad was diagnosed with cancer when I was 10, and he passed away soon after. Maybe if we had early detection, he would have been able to be there to walk me down the aisle.
Early detection saves lives. $295 laps are complete here in the Oxford 400, the XCAL Racing Web Shop 400 at the Oxford Plains Speedway. Ryan Kuhn with a 1 second lead on Austin Edwards as he works on lap traffic, but everyone's watching. A good battle happening for third position. Ryan Seams, PDJ Zeller, and Jeremy Gilliatt. And how about the Gilliatts tonight? Jeremy's in 5th, Adam's running in P6, and Jeremy's debut race in the top 5. This is another fun night for the brothers.
You know, every time we have a new driver debut, I think back to, I believe it was Josh Doobie's debut at, I do believe it was Texas Motor Speedway last season. I know that's one of your favorite tracks, Marty, but Josh Doobie, his debut race, goes out and wins at Texas. Could we see one of the Gilliatt, could we see Jeremy Gilliatt pull off the win here tonight?
Or could we see Ryan Kuhn also making his XCAL Racing debut? Pull something off tonight. That'd be very impressive to see that. Hey, while we're at it, let's talk about some notable starts here. Congratulations to Alex Krapser, who is making his 65th start. Blake Wynn, Greg Holtz, Jeremy Leto, John Friley with their 45th starts. Gerald Poole and Sean Andrews their 30th starts. And Ryan Seams with his 25th start.
Great to have these guys long term in the group. It definitely helps XCAL grow, especially a guy like Gerald Poole who helps bring in sponsorship, advertising, and everything else. So great to have those guys on board.
So with under 100 laps to go, let's take an opportunity to show you where your favorite driver is on the track in the How to Suck at iRacing full field rundown. Ryan Kuhn in his XCAL Racing debut. Could he get his first win? He is currently leading at the moment. Austin Edwards currently runs in the 2nd position. And he's looking to continue the streak of Edwards victories. Ryan Seams runs in the 3rd position. He's 5.5 seconds back on Austin Edwards. And again, Ryan looking for his 3rd straight top 10. Been another fun night for PDJ Zeller. He's been consistent inside the top 10 all race long. He currently runs in 5th position. The Gilliatt brothers. Jeremy's in 5th. Adam Gilliatt, and he's the one making his debut. I get those two messed up all the time. Adam is in 6th position. Jeremy is in 5th. Devin Landry currently runs in
the 7th position. A good night for him in the number 83 car. That car, I believe, is previously owned by Matthew Brinson, if I recall correctly. Robbie Keneally on pit road. He currently runs in 8th position on the racetrack for his final stop. Just got passed by Matt Pelletier, who moves up into P8. Fun night for Rocky Boyd as well, putting the 717 in the 9th position. Don Jordan definitely impressed with how much fun he is having. Nicholas Seams currently running in the 10th position on the racetrack, so fun night for the Seams brothers for sure. John Schwartz, it's been up and down night for him, but he's currently running in the 11th position on the racetrack. Tyler McRae, and look at it once again, back up on the outside. They're linked together. Now he gets back to the bottom. He currently runs in 12th spot. Robbie Keneally out of the pits, currently runs in 13th position. It's been a fun night for the driver of the number 3 in his return. Luke Turpin trying to rebound after the previous caution of that race. Excuse me, 2 cautions ago where he was involved in a crash with Sean Patrick, leaving him with nowhere to go. Runs in 14th position. Jose Godino, gotta give credit to him. Up 16 positions tonight. He is in 15th spot. Zach Edwards is in 16th. Been a quiet night for the driver, the 6th in that position. Joe Campbell runs in the 17th spot in car number 63. But it's been a good night so far, but keeping that car inside the top 20. The debut car of the 062 of Billy Snodgrass. The debut for him, he runs in 18th. An impressive run for the John Brancaccio-owned car. Robert Colgan in 19th, was up front earlier at one point in the race, but just has not had the pace compared to the leaders. Alex Gratz rounds out in the top 20, had some beef with Lotto earlier in the evening, but is able to rebound after his black flag, I believe, earlier in the race. Thanos Gerald Poole in the 21st position, up 14 spots. So nice job for him to gain some positions. Jim Johnson trying to recover after a spin from him earlier tonight in 22nd. It's been a very quiet night for Alex Krapser after the first caution that he was involved in. He runs in 23rd position. Stephen Wetton is running in 24th. Also a quiet night for him. He's up 9 positions. Sean Patrick is in 25th after being the cause of a caution 2 cautions ago. Jeff Edgar is in 26th spot. Also been a quiet night for the 70s. Been in the rear of the entire race. Albert Hewins runs in 27th spot. Sean Andrews in the pits. He is in 28th. Joseph Hurd has not had the best car tonight. It's been a rough night for him. Tough to control. He's in 29th, and a rough night for Derek Colson as well. He is in 30th. Chris Johnson runs in the 31st position. Also been a tough night for him. Mason Foster, after running inside the top 3, involved in a crash with Jeremy Luddle, is in 32nd after making repairs. Greg Holz is in 34th position after making repairs to his car. 2 drivers are out of the race. Jeremy Luddle is in 33rd. Kendrick Cryer will finish in the last position. So we're approaching 80 laps to go here, Doug, and we are approaching the pit window for drivers to make their final stops of the race. First driver that I know is good to go, I want to say James Johnson pit on lap 309, but I don't think he'll be able to go the distance. Robbie Keneally pit on lap 303. Likely for him, he'll have to save some fuel if he wants to get back in this and try and make it the distance. A caution would be big for him on his end, but it would not put him back on the lead lap, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of drivers start heading to pit road already over the last 10, 15 laps. And, you know, a guy diving in on lap 303, they have to think they can go the distance from here on their fuel load. So we'll have to wait and see how things pan out. Also, Danny Sargent now owns the 83 car. So another car in the J&S field there.
Nice run for Landry once again tonight. See, we don't know a lot about JNS Racing. I feel like we should, though. Danny's giving us all the news and notes in the chat at the moment. Got a battle for third, though. Jeremy Gilliatt onto the podium past Ryan Seams. A nice move for him.
Now
Perhaps Ryan may be saving up his tires?
Could very well be. Both of these drivers still have to go to pit road. Jeremy on 2-lap, fresher tires. That's not going to make a huge difference, but this long into a run, it will make a little bit. I think it's just right now Seems maybe trying to stretch that fuel a couple extra laps, trying to make that pit stop as short as possible.
6 drivers on the lead lap. Closest battle, Jonathan Schwartz and Robbie Keneally for 11th spot. Now remember, Keneally's on much fresher tires, so we should expect the driver of the 3 to make this pass look easy. Schwartz knows he's much faster, opens up the door for him, and Keneally back up into 11th spot. Another driver coming in the background is Jose Gaudino, comes in 15th position. But Robbie Keneally starting to close in on Rocky Boyd to break into the top 10.
Yeah, the tire thing is probably going to balance itself out after these guys hit pit road, but if Keneally can pick up a lot of ground here and hope that these guys get caught behind a lot of lap traffic, the 88 dives to pit road, the 717 jumps high, and Keneally just sneaks through.
Robbie Keneally with a bonsai move to break into the top 10. Luke Turpin, by the way, in for his final stop of the race. Let's watch this closely because I think Keneally just got, car in front of Rocky Boyd got a little bit squirrely. I'm trying to see who that is. Is that, I want to say that's Campbell, no, that's Landry. That's Ryan in the 45. I can't see that number. This is why I do not like dark on dark numbers, and I know Aaron Hellebusch doesn't like that, and he's going to call out some drivers because of that, just because I said it.
Well, it's definitely a little bit harder to read, but man, these guys are really starting to push. You see guys using that chrome horn quite a bit more all of a sudden as they come down to these final stops, trying to put themselves in position. Matt Pelletier now diving onto pit road in 8th place. A lot of guys. I thought I saw something weird coming off pit road, but apparently not.
That was Jeff Edgar coming out of pit road. He had to make the hard left turn to get out because he's on the second pit road. Remember, there's 2 pit roads here at Oxford, same entry and same exit. It's just a lot tougher on the exits, if you know what I mean.
Definitely is a tricky one to exit pit road on for sure, and especially if you're on that back one, because you have to worry about the cars coming from the inside from the front one, and you have to worry about the cars on the track.
Adam Gilliatt also into pit road. I think as well, by the way, Doug, I think this is our first set where everyone will come in for a green flag pit stop tonight. As long as we don't get a caution flag. I think this is the first time we've had this happen tonight.
Yeah, I believe so, and it'll be interesting. Don't talk about it. A caution will come out if you talk about it too much. Ryan Kuhn has got to hope that this thing stays green. He's got a 5-second lead over Austin now, 6-second lead over Austin now, as they both navigate some lap traffic.
PDJ Zeller is in. Devin Landry coming in from 4th position onto pit road. So still waiting on the top 3 in Ryan, Austin, and Jeremy. Zeller's already out after a 24-second stop. I would assume that's just fuel only for him.
Might have gotten right side tires, but...
you're right.
But he is just in there to top off on fuel with only 62 laps to go. These guys know the later they can pit, the shorter their pit stop is going to be, and that's a strategy a lot of these drivers are playing out right now.
2-tire stop for Landry as well. He's away. And for Ryan Kuhn with a 7-second lead, he's got a lot of lap traffic to deal with. This could get interesting for the guy in his XCAL debut.
Would definitely be if he can get somebody clearing behind. Now would be the time for him to make the move to pit road. But now you got lap cars actually looking to his inside.
That's Adam Gilliatt, and he just pitted He's currently now in 4th position. You got one off the track. I think that's Foster.
I believe so.
In the 96. It is. I think he's just letting drivers go by. And the leader's in. Kuhn is in for this final stop. We should expect Austin Edwards at any time, but he hits the dirt mount. That could get interesting.
Austin stays out. He's going to stretch this as long as possible. Nope, Austin now is coming down pit road. That'll give the lead to Jeremy Gilliatt if he stays out. And it looks like he is going to stay out here. And that'll be his first time leading tonight.
Just wait. They give Austin Edwards credit for leading the lap, so we'll have to wait 0.3 of a mile once again. You see Jeff Edgar getting by. Second start for Jeremy Gilliatt, and at the stripe, he does lead. Great to see. He'll try and go for the fresher tires on exit. Get everyone good to go the distance on fuel, so if I'm Jeremy, I'm banking on a caution just to get the fresher tires to his advantage. Coming back to green, he could be on the front of the field.
Ryan Kuhn at a 37-second stop. Austin at a 28-second stop. Austin at best, Ryan sides only. I don't think Kuhn had enough time to get all 4, but if he did, man, that was a quick stop.
Not too sure there. I think the normal 4-tire stops we've seen have been in like the high 30s, low 40s range. In fact, Kuhn just set the fastest lap of the race, 16.05 in clean traffic at the moment, and he's got a little bit of a draft. That time, 16.18.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see anybody break 16 seconds. It'd be Ryan Kuhn if it was. At this
Here comes
rate.
Jeremy. I think he's coming in. Nope, he's not. He went to the inside on the back straightaway, which looked like he was signaling he was coming in.
Gilliatt, another J&S car, and that team has got to be happy. They've had several drivers lead a lap, pick up some bonus points. So the owner's points for the season, man, it's going to get interesting because they've had a lot of wins. They've had a lot of success this season.
Again, coming in, it was the Austin Edwards car that is leading the points, 31.97 to 28.78, as we do see Jeremy Gilliatt come in for his final stop. We'll focus on this before we go to break.
Ryan Kuhn trying to reclaim the lead.
1 lap behind. Right sides for Gilliatt at the moment. See if he switches to lefts. Nope, it's 2 tires and fuel. Ryan Kuhn gets ahead. He takes the race lead back. Now we just wait to see where Jeremy cycles through. Adam Gilliatt goes to 3rd in his debut. Zeller 4th. Gilliatt, I think he comes out in 5th.
Looks like.
And he will. So that's your top 5 of the moment. With under 50 laps to go. When we come back, we are taking you to the finish. Stay with us.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and e-NASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
Welcome back to the Oxford Plains Speedway as we're taking you to the finish here of the XCAL Racing Web Shop 400, where Ryan Kuhn with a 3.8 second lead on Austin Edwards, currently under 40 laps away from winning in his debut. Now, the last time we saw a driver win in his debut, you got to go back, I think, to Legacy, Texas last season in the second Texas race of the year, where the driver of the 03 at the time, which was Josh Doobie, scored the win. It was so cool to see. He did it by pitting later, using less fuel, and taking the checkers.
Yeah, that was an interesting race for more than just that story. There was some guy that hit the inside wall on the track during that race as well.
Hey. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It was the first
I
race.
was commentating that race, so don't say it was the second race, you son of a gun. But hey, at least at Oxford Speedway, I can disappear in a stunt contest.
Yeah, that's true. Austin Edwards in second, 4.3 seconds back now.
For those wondering, by the way, what I'm talking about, during All-Star Week, XCAL puts on some fun contests where they award money and gift cards to the XCAL Racing web shop. We have a little stunt contest at Oxford that includes a big ear bonus. I was doing a lot of drifts, a lot of donuts, and I had before my big ear bonus, I had the greatest trick of them all. I legit disappeared from the track. And Aaron was so stunned, he gave me the win because of that.
Hey, it's a good trick.
Yeah, it is.
Sean Andrews has gone off track, and it looks like he's going to pit road. Let's see what happened. He has not had a great night.
Been a rough one for him for sure.
Looks like, he was coming off of pit road, gassed it too hard, and all that dust goes up the mound and ends up. That's a heartbreak.
Well, let's see here. Take number 2. Slow and steady out of pit road this time. Nicholas Seams, by the way, is off the track, and he went around. He is spun it off at turn number 4, and there was contact from the 60 of Chris Johnson.
Let's see.
He was running inside the top 10. It's the enter pit lane.
See what happened here. He gets a little bit of a bump, and then he gets a bit more of a bump, and it just sends him around into the inside. He ends up backwards and manages to get the car straightened out and going again, but a heartbreak for a guy who was running in the top 10. He falls back to 12th, might still be able to make a comeback here.
Battle for 7th. Devin Landry to the inside of Robbie Keneally, because Keneally got forced up because Matt Pelletier is much faster. And he's got those fresher tires. Devin Landry takes the advantage.
Pelletier currently running in 5th. Also having another great run here tonight. Ryan Seams currently in 6th place.
Ryan Seams in 6th place, again looking for his 3rd straight top 10. And again, we talk about the Gilliatt's. Adam in his debut, looking for a podium finish. Not bad of a way to begin your XCAL career. 2 guys in their debuts looking for podium finishes. I don't think that's ever happened in XCAL Racing, with probably the exception of its origination of its inaugural season in the early 2010s. Or maybe even 2022, but I guess you could say it happened last year too, considering Alex Hallinar won, I finished 2nd at Charlotte. So it's very rare though, but this would be pretty cool once again to see it. And Jason Seams in the chat is not happy at that situation. Neither is Danielle Sargent, saying another EHP wrecking one of our cars.
You gotta wonder if that EHP JNS peace treaty is falling apart here tonight. We did talk at the top of the show about the fact that tempers do tend to flare here at Oxford.
It does for sure.
What in the world? Austin Edwards is on pit road. Let's see what happened to him.
I think there was some contact. Oh, he got sideways.
He was
and
trying
the owners got together.
Oh, he was trying to get down to the inside of the lap car of Joe Campbell. Yeah, I think the peace treaty might be off after this one. Although you got to give it to Austin. He kept the car off of Joe.
Still in 2nd, though. Didn't lose positions, but lost a little bit of tire wear because of that.
And lost a lot of time as now Adam Gilliatt is closing back in.
He actually increased the gap. I should say Austin did on Adam, 2.4 seconds. And we got a car sideways. I think that was Petey. And Chris Johnson, no, that's the 717, tried to dump him. Petey's got some rear end damage.
Well, let's see.
This could get interesting. Under 20 to go. Let's keep the cameras rolling on this. This could get good. This ain't for position either, folks. He moved Petey up the racetrack. That's Rocky Boyd. That moves the 00 up the track, and I think Petey's looking for payback. At the same time, you do not want to risk losing a 4th place finish. This is still a great run for the 00.
John Schwartz now to the inside and may put himself in there as a buffer.
Here comes Jeremy. Here comes Jeremy. He's got up to the quarter panel. Battle for 4th is on. With the way this racing's going, the intensity has picked up. This could be the longest 15 laps of Ryan Kuhn's life.
Yeah, because if anything goes wrong they are not far ahead at all. And if anything goes wrong up there, Kuhn's going to be caught up in it.
Petey won't be able to catch Rocky Boyd. He will not be able to. He is checked out. But I have a feeling post-race there will be some conversations between Petey and Rocky.
Probably not the best idea to move the VP of the league you're racing in. Just saying.
And a battle for 10th. Luke Turpin and John Schwartz for a top 10 spot. And how about Luke Turpin recovering from a spin where he had nowhere to go while running in 2nd. Gets up there. He gets past Petey. And we got a spin at 3. Spinner at 3. That's in. That's Godino. He gets off the racing groove. And we stay under the green flag.
Oh, the 36 got loose getting into the turn 3 and just comes down and clips Godino. And sends him around. Great save by Godino, although he's going to lose a lot of ground here.
10 laps to go for Ryan Kuhn. Can he win it in his XCAL Racing debut? Uh-oh. Kuhn's starting to blink. Oh, boy. By the way, keep in mind, only 4 cars will have a chance to win it if we get a caution flag before 5 laps to go, because waiver rounds are turned off. If we do get it, if we hit 5 laps to go, there will be no more cautions. Robbie Keneally is in. He could not go the distance. 9 to go for Ryan Kuhn.
You know, with Keneally in, Nicholas Seams might pull back up into the top 10 even after that incident. So you'll get both Seams back in the top 10 if the timing works out right.
He's 0.6 of a second behind Luke Turpin. Let's watch this closely, folks. He is reeling him in. Oh, Godino's crashed. Godino's crashed again in turn number 3. This time he gets it off the racing surface once again. It was from a bump from Robert Colgan that sent him sideways. He gets it back uprighted.
And looks like Colgan started bumping him in 1 and 2 a little bit. Colgan might have been getting some bumps as well from behind. Oh, yeah, he just yeets him into the infield.
Half a second separate. 5 laps to go. We're green the rest of the way. Ryan Kuhn, can he win his XCAL debut at one of the toughest tracks, the Circus of Oxford Raceway? Greg Holmes is off the track in turn number 2. He went into the dirt. 1 car's into the pits. That is Stephen Wetton. 4 laps to go for Ryan Kuhn.
Austin Edwards in second. Now 8 seconds back. No chance of catching him. The Gilliatt brothers are 3rd and 4th. Adam in 3rd. Jeremy in 4th. PD in 5th.
And they have had a lot of fun tonight. This is a big win for them in their first and second starts, respectively. Ryan's catching up to Jeremy to put him a lap down. 3 laps to go at the line for Ryan Kuhn in the RKM setup shop. EHP number 25.
He's had a magnificent run. He's going to have 2 to go at the line, and you got to wonder. No, white flag is in the air for Ryan Kuhn, and
Final lap.
He is actually going to fight through some of this lap traffic.
The JR Button box is number 25 off of turn 4. Welcome to XCAL Racing. Ryan Kuhn wins it in his debut at Oxford tonight.
Austin Edwards will come home in second. Adam Gilliatt comes, it looks like he's going to come home 3rd with Jeremy in 4th. PD comes home 5th. Ryan Seams, another great finish, coming home in 6th. Devin Landry 7th. Robbie Keneally 8th. Matt Pelletier 9th. Luke Turpin 10th. And Nicholas Seams comes back for 11th.
We had a crash after the checkered flag. Tyler McRae, Jimmy Johnson, and Stephen Wetton got together. Some guys were not happy, I think, after the checkered, and that will, of course, be looked at by Aaron Hillebush for sure.
Yeah, it looks like the 36 is just slowing down on the top of the track, and he just comes to a stop. He managed to get out of there before he got in any trouble.
Ryan Kuhn, take it in, man. You have done it at the Circus of Oxford Plains. He's going to stop and take a moment. Yes, 1-2 finish for EHP.
And a 3 and 4 finish for the J&S team. No, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think.
Absolutely. Let's bring in the top 3 here. First off, Adam Gilliatt in his XCAL Racing debut. Can you believe it? You finished a 3rd at one of the toughest tracks on the schedule. And does this feel like a win tonight for you?
Oh yeah, that was a good race there. I mean, it went well for me. I feel like I wasn't really expecting to get a top 3 there, but I had a good car and it went well, and I think everybody helped me out.
How's the confidence now for the final 9 races of the season? How excited are you? And do you think your first win is coming that could be an upset?
I feel good about it. I definitely feel like I could get a win, but I mean, I'll just move on week to week and see what happens. Definitely is a little bit of a confidence boost. I feel like I can run with these guys now.
You want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Oh, just a lot of the guys from J&S. They helped out a lot.
All right, man. Well, we will let you go. Enjoy this moment. Great job tonight.
Yep. Thank you.
Adam Gilliatt with a 3rd place finish tonight. Let's go to our 2nd place finisher in Austin Edwards. Unfortunately, the 6 race Edwards streak comes to an end. First off, man, how happy are you for Ryan?
Man, you know, Marty, I don't know what I was thinking bringing someone into this race with double my I rating and thinking I could run with them, but, you know, I finished close second to him, so I wouldn't call that a bad day. You know, I was, brought Ryan in here because he loves Oxford, as you guys could see. Really proud of him bringing home the win. It's good to have a win of the 25. I don't think we've seen that in a hot minute, so, overall a good points day for all of us. DHB, we had a couple of cars with some hard times, but looks like we got 3 of our 4 in the top 20, so, time to go to Irwindale and hopefully not rip off as many fenders.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run tonight?
I'll give a big shout out to these guys working on the setup with me. We tried some new stuff this week, and we thought it kind of worked, but then we started burning off the right rear tires because we, you know, like to overdrive these street stocks around Oxford. Overall, big thank you to JR Graphics and Design, keeping us looking sharp. JR Button Boxes, giving us some buttons to push besides the other drivers, and all the guys at XCAL Racing for putting on these great shows.
Great job tonight, man.
Thank you, guys.
Austin Edwards with the win as he extends his points lead towards the championship with 9 races left to go. Now it's time to go to Fuel Factor X Victory Lane, presented by KMU Trucking and Excavating. Ryan Kuhn joins an elite group in winning in their XCAL Racing debut. Has not happened since Texas of last season. Ryan, congratulations on the win. Can you believe you've done it?
Yeah, that was a fun race. That was I like these long green flag runs. They're really fun, and honestly, at the end there, the outside was actually coming to life with so much rubber being laid down on the bottom. I was actually able to roll the top on the last lap, run about the same lap I've been running the whole last about 10 laps, and it was pretty cool to get the track really rubbered up. That hasn't really been a thing on iRacing for the past 2 years, unfortunately, with the tire changing, but that was really fun.
How good was that car tonight?
Car was stout, a little tight, but you really need it here, especially in real life. I told the guys in Discord, I said, this car drives almost like my real car, a little tight in the middle, but it's got ungodly traction up off the corner. But I feel like that's what you need here. You got to have some, especially with the lower horsepower cars, you need that drive up off, but it's a different story with more horsepower. But a lot of fun, enjoyed it. Thank you. Thanks to Austin for the opportunity in the 25 car tonight. And hopefully, maybe I'll be back again soon.
Absolutely. We look forward to seeing you, man. Next week, we've got another good one. I believe next week, as Aaron messed up on the roadmap. Doug, you may know better than me. Where are we at next week?
I believe Irwindale Outer.
Yes, Irwindale's next week. Give us the outlook for that race.
Irwindale's a different. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it due to a real life racing conflict. But Irwindale, you know, multiple different lines there. You get the bottom to work. You get to see guys run the top 1 and 2. But I think 3 and 4, it's mainly going to be a bottom groove racetrack. But definitely going to be interesting on restarts there. Cars going 3, 4, 5 wide on turn 1 on restarts. That'd be pretty cool to watch.
Finally, oh yeah, by the way, what do you race in real time? I'm curious.
I run pro late models full time
All
in the Northeast in the Pro All Star Series. Currently leading the points, actually.
Good for you, dude. Good for you.
Thank you.
Do you race near New York? I'm curious.
No, I've never raced in New York. You know,
Okay.
I've seen some great racetracks out there like Oswego and a couple of those tracks out there. My old man used to run up in New York, ran in the Wheeling Modified Tour back when it was the Featherlight Tour. Ran in New York, but he ran a lot of modified races out there at Oswego, and I can't remember the other racetracks he ran, but I know there was about 4 or 5 different New York tracks that he ran. I know he ran Riverhead and all those racetracks, but you know, I'm a New England guy. I'm down near Seekonk Speedway. This track, Oxford's honestly about 3 hours from me as well. That's why I love this racetrack. I love all the New England racetracks on iRacing. They're all really fun. Thompson, Stafford, New Hampshire, Oxford, even Lime Rock. But I enjoy these New England type racetracks.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run, man?
I'll give a shout-out to Austin Edwards. He gave me an opportunity tonight. I ran for him. RKM Setup Shop, Everett's Auto Parts, Berners Liquors, Modern Auto Body, Coastal Heritage Bank, you guys up in the booth, Aaron, and all the guys that put on this great league. It's pretty cool to get these green flag runs. It's really, really fun.
Alrighty, man. Well, we'll let you go. Enjoy this tonight. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Ryan Kuhn celebrated in Fuel Factor X Victory Lane, presented by KMU Trucking and Excavating. let's give you your official results here from actually your unofficial results tonight. The official results will be posted up tomorrow morning on the XCAL Racing website, www.xcalracing.com. Ryan Kuhn takes the win. Austin Edwards second. Adam Gilliatt finishes third. Jeremy Gilliatt fourth. PDJ Zeller fifth. Ryan Seams finishes in 6th, Devin Landry 7th, Robbie Keneally in 8th, Matt Pelletier 9th, Luke Turpin in 10th. Nicholas Seams 11th, John Schwartz 12th, Zach Edwards 13th, Rocky Boyd 14th, Tyler McRae in 15th, 16th went to Joe Campbell, 17th Alex Gratz, Robert Colgan 18th, Billy Snodgrass 19th, Alex Crapser 20th, Jose Gaudino 21st, Gerald Poole 22nd, James Johnson 23rd, Sean Patrick 24th, Jeff Edgar in 25th, Albert Hewins 26th, Stephen Wetton in 27th, Derek Colson 28th, Sean Andrews 29th, Joseph Hurd 30th. 31st belonged to Chris Johnson, 32nd Mason Foster, 33rd Greg Holes, 34th Kendrick Cryer, and 35th went to Jeremy Lettle. 33 drivers took the checkered flag with only 4 drivers on the lead lap. Now, for the bonus point per the XCAL Racing rulebook, bunch of different drivers will be getting bonus points. Let's get this rulebook here loaded up here. First off, in this race overall, we had 6 cautions for 47 laps and 18 lead changes in the race. Not bad for a race at Oxford. I think we'll definitely take this for sure tonight. So, point structure looks like this for bonus points. The drivers that led a lap will get 5 bonus points. Ryan Kuhn led 225. Austin Edwards 130. Jeremy Gilliatt led 7. Matt Pelletier 2. Luke Turpin led 35. Mason Foster led 1. Leading the most laps was Ryan Kuhn at 225, so he will earn, as of now, a total of 185 points tonight. He also had the fastest lap of the feature, 16:047. So give him 195 points tonight. Austin Edwards had the pole position, so he gets a total of 180 points tonight. And your hard charger of the race belonged to Ryan Seams, up 20 spots from 26th to the 6th position. So because of that, his total goes to 156 points. So, don't forget, if you want to become an XCAL Racing superfan, just go to xcalracing.com, click on 2022, head all the way down to our Patreon page to sign up. Must be 18 or older to view our content. Next week, Doug, is Irwindale Speedway, our second trip to Irwindale this season. It is the outer version of Irwindale where we could see a lot of 6-wide activity perhaps in the race. But the high side's the place to go, a lot similar to Lucas Oil Raceway.
Yeah, it was a wild one last season, 5 and 6 wide with no caution for the first 75-80 laps. So it'll be a non-stop battle all the way around that track. It'll be a great, great race.
Absolutely. So with that, we will say adieu for tonight. On behalf of the drivers and sponsors at XCAL Racing, our president, Aaron Hillebush, our vice president is PDJ Zeller. And on behalf of my broadcast partner tonight is Doug Burns. I'm Marty Sakala signing off. Ryan Kuhn takes the win tonight in the XCAL Racing Web Shop 400. So long, everyone.
This is my good friend who had cancer when we were really little, and he was able to beat it through early detection, and now he just recently graduated from Santa Clara.
This picture's really funny. My dad was diagnosed with cancer my freshman year of high school. Thanks to early detection, he now gets to see me graduate from college.
"8 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, but thanks to early detection, I'll get to spend this Christmas with her."
My dad was diagnosed with cancer when I was 10, and he passed away soon after. Maybe if we had early detection, he would have been able to be there to walk me down the aisle. Early detection saves lives.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and eNASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.